I'm not particularly interested in a debate, but I wanted to ask a question, I guess, that just occurred to me while I was listening.
Okay.
I am a person of no faith, right? And I have always had trouble when I ask people to, explain the Trinity, right? Because it's like I just don't understand it. I think there's an identity claim being made here that just seems incoherent, right? But the problem is, anytime I ask someone to explain it to me, they usually just say oh, it's complicated. Go study it or something. But
what do you mean an identity claim?
Right. So I mean the claim that Jesus of Nazareth is identical to God, and
well, I mean that's the revelation that's given in Scripture.
Right,
so
right. So I just mean this. It seems fairly incoherent to me. And so
why is it incoherent?
Because obviously Jesus has a lot of properties. Like Jesus of Nazareth is finite. He's contingent. He's a human being.
Well, those are properties of his human nature, so that wouldn't have anything.
So this is what I mean, though. This doesn't really make sense to me. How does that work?
Well, that's a fallacy because something doesn't make sense to you that it's therefore false. That has nothing to do with whether it's true or false.
Okay, but this is what I'm asking, though. I'm not
I'm trying to answer, and you keep interrupting every time I start to answer. Now here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So why is it a problem to say that his human nature, which if something's created as human nature is, it's going to have the properties of being a creature? Why would that be a quote contradiction or contrary to divinity taking on and having a both and versus an either or? So your assumption is that it has to be either or. Either Jesus is no longer divine and becomes finite, and that it can't be a both and. Why?
Because at that point you're no longer making the claim that Jesus is identical to God, right? If he has
he's the second person of the Godhead, the Son,
right? So
taking on human nature.
How that actually works, though, right? So are you making an identity claim here, or are you not, right?
He is the Son of God. He is fully divine. He's the second person of the Godhead. So you're saying that, I guess your argument is that the Trinity itself is incoherent. Why?
Well, this is what I came to talk to you about, right? I'm just saying, when I ask people about it, usually they tell me to go study it. It's complicated.
Yeah, I'm happy to address and make the argument for the Trinity. So I want to know first why something being one and many is... Why is something being one and many incoherent?
Because, that just obviously seems like a contradiction. Right?
Okay, because you call it obviously a contradiction. Okay, so the number...
This is like the
number 3 is both 1 and 3 at the same time. Is that therefore a contradiction?
I just denied the claim. I don't think the number 3. Number one, well, I'm not a numerical realist, right? So I don't think the number 3.
It doesn't matter whether you think that it has object. I didn't even ask you about the ontological status of the number. I just simply said whatever you. Why do you keep interrupting me when I? Why do you? Because I'm using it as an example. Even if you think that it's not an ontologically real thing, whatever realness it has or lack thereof, it is both 3 and 1 at the same time. Likewise, objects in the natural world have multiple. They have a multiplicity to them at the same time as being a unity. So there's nothing inherently contradictory about something being one and many.
So can you give an example of something in the natural world that has that property?
Any object in the natural world has a unitive aspect to it to make it that object, as well as the parts that make it up. So all Mariology, which is parts whole relationships.
But usually when I try and suggest that to people who believe in the Trinity, that's a heresy called modalism, right? Or isn't it?
No, I'm not arguing that there's a one-to-one correspondence between the created object and God. I'm saying that there's nothing inherently contradictory about something being one and many at the same time.
Right. And
so then your original contention doesn't work for the Trinity being a contradiction.
Okay. Let me talk, okay?
So, no, you let me talk. You're on my stream, and you keep interrupting me every time I give you an answer. Here you go.
But you didn't let me give
What's the problem with the one and the many?
Right. So the issue is when I suggest that the relation between, the persons of the Godhead and the God, right? Well, it might be like the relation between, a whole and its composite parts.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Parts and wholes.
That's not what they're saying, right? That's a heresy called modalism.
No, you're misunderstanding. Right? That's why I just told you it's not a one-to-one correspondence. I'm saying that even in
how does it work?
Then it works to show that there's nothing inherently contradictory about something being one and many, because it's true in the.
There's nothing it's true in the.
If it's true in the shut up. It is like it. It's an analogy. You don't know what an analogy is? You don't think I can make an analogy?
The analogy, but you just by your own admission, the analogy doesn't work because it's
you're not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's not inherently contradictory in the created realm. And so, therefore, you can't say that it's therefore contradictory in any other realm. That's the point.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
I just refuted your point. Did you not hear what I said?
I'm asking you
Can you restate what my argument was? Can you restate it?
So you gave this analogy, right?
Can you restate it?
You agreed with me that this is not actually...
I said it's an analogy, not one-to-one correspondence.
Work. Okay. So then how is that supposed to help me understand it?
Because if it's not a contradiction in the created realm, there's no basis to say it's therefore a contradiction on God.
I'm trying to understand the claim, though. I'm not saying that it's a contradiction, right? Maybe
if the problem of the now you're lying because you said at the beginning it was a contradiction. You said the Trinity was a contradiction at the beginning, and I'm showing you that there's no necessity.
It was incoherent. No, right? I said I don't get it. That was my whole. That was
all right. You're wasting our time. You're just talking bullshit.
My time. This was a mistake.
Yeah, because you're not listening to the argument and you're not addressing what I'm telling you. You just keep stating your original position over and over. Yeah, he ran away. I didn't block him. He ran away. Joe?
Yeah, I just want to hear my voice talk and talk. I don't believe numbers are real.
He argued at the very beginning that the Trinity is contradictory and incoherent. And by the way, if something's incoherent, then by extension, it's a contradiction. And then he's saying, I never said it was a contradiction. Atheists are such liars, dude. I can't stand these people. Go ahead.